These days, direct drive wheelbases can be broken down into 3 different categories: lightweight, middleweight, and then there's the heavyweights. And if the heavyweight category starts out at 16 to 18 Newton meters, well then the SimXperience AccuForce Xtreme has definitely been hitting the gym. What started as a light middleweight contender is now throwing punches at the top of the class, delivering a monster 28 Newton meters of force. Yeah, this thing has been skipping cardio and went straight into beast mode. Welcome to the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and today we're going to do battle with a wheelbase that has more torque than a V8, the all-new SimXperience AccuForce Xtreme. This thing is a 28 Newton meter direct drive brute. It is built for sim racers who want zero limits, full immersion, and aren't afraid of a rig that's going to fight them back a little bit. It's not just more powerful than the original, it's smarter, leaner, and designed like it means business. The base on its own goes for $11.99, and that gets you the 28 Newton meters of peak torque, a built-in NRG style quick release, and a 500 watt power supply. Go all in with the complete package, which includes the SimXperience wireless wheel, and you're looking at $17.99, and that price is good for now, but it might tick up in the next production run. Now, under the hood, you're looking at dual asymmetric processors, wireless wheel support, and magnetic charging. No slip rings, no wires, no wear. Just clean, cable-free power that feels more like a Tesla than a toy. The wheel can also connect to your PC via Bluetooth, which means technically anyone could use this wheel as long as they have an NRG style quick release. On the back, we also see expansion ports because on the horizon, we're looking at things like SimXperience WinSim, which will be directly driven by the base and tied into their Sim Commander software. The same platform that handles their motion systems and their force feedback. Now that's enough with the spec sheet. Let's go ahead and get this mounted on the rig, fire it up, and see how it really performs out on track. Hitting the track, the first thing that hits you isn't the force feedback, it is the sheer size of the AccuForce Xtreme. I mean, the base, it's industrial grade. The quick release, it's a steel brick. And the wheel, just massive. But once it's mounted, it's really not in my way than any other setup, but it is very large and very heavy, so your rig is going to have to be ready for it. This thing's a load-bearing beast, and with all that bulk comes rigidity. No flex, none. You can muscle it around and it won't budge. One of the stiffest, most confidence-inspiring setups I've driven. Then you start turning laps, and that's when the finesse kicks in. Despite the power of the wheel is butter smooth. No cogging, no friction, no lazy step feel, even when parked. It turns easily unless you're fighting force feedback. The default Sim Commander profile runs about 74% output, and it's dialed. Light and relaxed on the straights, with just enough resistance for inputs. And then it wakes up mid-corner or under hard braking. You feel those frictional forces transfer cleanly from sim to your hands. That dynamic range, it's money. But what really stood out was how fast it reacts, especially during the understeer or snap oversteer moments. The load shifts are crisp, immediate, and super easy to read. No lag, no weird filtering, no sluggishness like you sometimes get in big motors. And the stability, rock solid. I cranked the force feedback up and I let go of the wheel during the straight and it just sat there. No oscillations, no spin, no drama. That's some seriously smart tuning and a testament to Sim Commander. Longtime viewers know that I've always rated the AccuForce as one of my favorite direct drive wheels out there. And this feels like a more extreme version. I mean, it's smoother, it's way stronger, and honestly, I didn't change a thing. I loaded the default profile and went straight to racing, and I'd be happy to leave it that way. Now, the steering wheel that's included with the Xtreme is actually a little bit of a love-hate relationship with me, I gotta be honest with you. Functionally, it checks all the boxes. It gives me everything that I actually need out of a steering wheel. And it's wireless, just like a Fanatic, Bose, or Sim Magic in this ecosystem. but it doesn't trap you into that ecosystem. So the wheel will talk to the base via SX wireless communication, but this wheel will work on any PC computer as long as you have an NRG style quick release on your base via Bluetooth wireless. So that's kind of freedom that you don't get on all other wireless wheel platforms. And it is built with legit materials too. Carbon fiber faceplate, anodized aluminum housing with a clean overall finish. But in 2025, it feels kind of basic. I mean, it's solid, it's just not a standout feature of the setup. Now, the wheel rim that comes with it is 320 millimeters, and again, it's sort of a generic wheel rim, and I just felt that it wasn't really flagship level. So you can see I've swapped mine out for the MPI Mazda wheel rim. That said, the bolt pattern is standard, so switching rims is dead simple. Button placement? Ugh. I had to take a hand off the wheel to reach anything. Not a deal breaker for old school GT cars or oval racing, but if you're in a modern GT or a Formula car, you'll probably want more buttons, rev lights, or something backlit. The paddles, well, they caught me off guard, to be honest with you. They aren't magnetic. Everything I test nowadays is magnetic. These are conventional levers with a tremendous amount of throw, which caught me off guard at first. However, they're totally adjustable, so you can dial in the starting and stopping point of each shifter. And once I had them all dialed in, they were genuinely great, and I didn't miss the magnetic function. They're made with long carbon paddles with a smooth feel, and there are no extra flappy paddles cluttering things up. In rally, that mattered. No misshifts, just clean, confident clicks. Around the back on the hub, you've got a reset button and a charging point for the internal battery. I have not needed that since the wheel charges from the base. And the quick release? Chef's kiss. NRG style, double tab collar, and one of the smoothest on-off experiences I've ever had. No play, no fuss, just lock and go. Since the Xtreme base uses an NRG style quick release, I was able to just grab my GSI wheel rim, one of my most feature-rich wheels that I own, and put it on there. And pro tip, if you are going to use a different rim, just make sure there's nothing inside that quick release that's going to touch those contact points. With the GSI wheel, I got everything I wanted. Rev lights, a built-in display, and more accessible buttons. And it felt right at home in faster cars. Modern GTs and open wheelers, or Indy cars on ovals, where the extra info and functionality really pay off. Did it change the feel? Not much. It's also a big, heavy rim, so the leverage was very similar. No extra flex, no strange behavior. The base handled it like a champ. But the downside? You lose wireless and have to route that lovely wraparound USB cable to a powered USB hub. A little ironic running a wired wheel on a $1,799 wheelbase. But hey, welcome to sim racing at the top end. Now let's get into the hardware and software and what it took to get this up and running. And honestly, no real drama here. I mean, the base, it's huge, it's massive, it's super strong, so your rig is gonna need to be ready. But using its Thrustmaster compatible bolt pattern, it just bolted down with 4 bolts, no real problem or issue there. But I will mention it is only bottom mount. There are no side mount options for this. Even the 500 watt power supply is super industrial, very large. It looks like it's meant to be rack mounted, but I ended up just hiding it behind my rig. No real worries there. In fact, out of sight, out of mind. And the software was just as easy. I downloaded Sim Commander from their software, I watched their quick start video, and boom, it detected all my games and even pre-built profiles for each. You can run those profiles as is and they do work pretty well, or you can go down that rabbit hole of tuning. And with Sim Commander, you have more control over what you feel than any other wheelbase I've used. Whether you're tuning for fun, chasing shock and awe, or aiming for the ultimate in realism, you can dial this wheel in to behave exactly how you want. Now here's where Sim Commander really sets it apart. 2 things that you're just not going to find anywhere else, starting with AutoTune, which builds a custom force profile right from your own hot lap, using game telemetry along with car and track data to create an optimized setup. That is pretty cool, right? Now, even cooler is cloud tuning. It taps into a massive online database of millions of game, car, and track combinations from around the world, then automatically dials in the perfect settings. It's literally brainless. You'll even hear it say,
matching car and track data found in SimXperience database. Profile modified.
Slick. And it creates a level of consistency and predictability that can shave tenths off your lap times. I have to say, I really enjoyed driving with the SimXperience AccuForce Xtreme wheelbase and wheel rim. And with that, there are a lot of things to cover, but let's keep it simple and talk about my favorite things, starting off with excellent force feedback detail, smooth, nuanced, and powerful. Capable of massive peak forces, serious torque for serious sim racers. Highly adjustable force feedback effects. Tune nearly every aspect to your tastes. No oscillations or weird behavior, even at high forces. Best Newton meter per dollar in its class. Unmatched value in the high-end market. Extremely rigid and solid build. No flex in the base, QR, or rim. Adjustable throw and paddle placement. Customizable to your hand's position. Wireless wheel with on-base charging. Clean setup, no cords. Cloud-based tuning profiles. Fast, smart, and user-friendly. AutoTune feature based on hot laps, unique and functional. Future expansion ports, known upgrades like WinSim, and future unknown upgrades. Despite my love for this wheel, there are definitely things that can be improved, so let's go ahead and talk about them, starting off with the massive footprint. The base is big and heavy, and it's not going to fit every rig. Oversized power supply. Rack mount style adds bulk. Industrial utilitarian look. Not exactly showroom pretty. No side mounting options. Limited flexibility for certain cockpits. Wheel rim buttons are hard to reach, especially during intense driving. No current modern wireless wheels. You're stuck with this one unless you go wired. And with that, the wired fallback requires wraparound USB. Not ideal for a high-end experience. And now on to the bottom line. What a huge upgrade over the previous version. I want to remind you, I really loved my original AccuForce wheelbase, and it did have a few flaws. It was a little on the weak side, it didn't have wireless wheel support, and it had that very bizarro wiring that I couldn't stand, and all of those things were not only cured, but made incredibly fantastic. Now, not everybody wants or even needs a massively powered wheelbase, and you could even argue that too much force feedback can make you slower. But if realism is your #1 priority, then this thing delivers. If you prefer realism over cosmetics, then this might be the last wheelbase or wheel combo that you ever need. The happy medium for me has been running it at about 18 to 20 Newton meters. That sweet spot works because the wheel runs light in general. Until those big forces hit. And when they do, they feel fantastic and help you drive better. Functionally, it's top tier, but visually, it kind of feels like we're stuck in Windows XP. I mean, it's got that industrial look to the base and especially the power supply, but I'll kind of hide that away so it really won't matter. So it really does come down to visual or performance, and I'm going to take performance every day when it comes to sim racing. I would love to see some more modern steering wheels from SimXperience to support this wheel. That would just make this thing an absolute monster. I can get over the boxy base, but you gotta give me the wheel rim to match the performance of it. So I hope you've enjoyed our review of the SimXperience AccuForce Xtreme. It has been a pleasure driving this one for sure. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can find out when our next video comes out. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.